Do I need to push this one? Oh, okay. Hey. 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome. It's good to be back. Forgive me if my voice sounds a little different. One of my teammates came in this week. I will not say names, Joe, with some daycare cooties. And so, you know me, I had to fight through it, but I'm still here like Antoine Fisher, still standing, still strong. Coming to you guys this week. I can't wait to talk to you today, man. I'm really excited about the new year, about Christmas holiday celebrations tomorrow. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful week, had a wonderful weekend in mind or planned. And I can't wait to hear the stories and see what y'all doing on social media because, of course, I can't be there in real life, right? A 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Winsome Cully, 2023 is coming to an end. 2023 is coming to an end. So my question to you is, how was your 2022? What did you do with your time? What did you do with your energy? What did you do that was different? How did you impact others? I have so many questions that I want to ask you because I want you to ask these questions of yourself today. So it's three things I want to cover down on. I've been talking about this around base. I sent a message to the family on Team Kadena as the career advisor. I asked three questions or three things of everyone. I need you to refocus, right? I need you to reflect, and I need you to release. So I want to start about reflect. That's what we're going to talk about this first segment, reflecting on 2022. And before we get into it, man, of course, we got to do the mandatory stuff. And again, forgive my voice. My teammate came in with the daycare cooties this week. If y'all don't know what that is, right now is the season, right? So you got the kids running around getting each other sick, and my teammate came in, and I had a tickle in my throat all of a sudden, right? A couple of days later. I'm looking for him, right? I'm going to find him when I get back on Monday. But check this out. Let's do our mandatory stuff. Let's ask those three questions from trainerswarehouse.com. And, of course, we got the thumb ball, and today's thumb ball is going to be, let's see, this one is called the stress management thumb ball. I picked this when I was looking at the questions this morning in the arsenal, where I was like, I think those are pretty cool questions to end the year on. Let's see how well I know myself. I don't have a guest today, so I'm going to throw this up three times, ask myself three questions, and give you three answers. Let's get it. All right, so the first one. How might you like to change your diet? How might you like to change your diet? So if you know me, I'm not one of those guys that meal plans. I'm not one of those guys that throughout the day really focus on, I got to get this meal, I got to eat this time. I think next year I want to be more, more disciplined when it comes to what times I eat. Not necessarily any specific types of diets, but I do want to reflect on making sure I get those 3 meals in a day in a timely manner, really just to take care of myself as an individual, my body. So that's it. How much you want to change your diet in 2023? I just want to be more aware of when I'm eating and make sure I'm getting those meals in. If you're on my team on Kadena, you know that too, because I'm always running around, right? So it's kind of hard for me to sit still sometimes. So making sure I do that is important. All right, question 2. Let's see. What are your most dreaded household chores? Ooh, dreaded household chores. I think folding clothes. After you get the clothes out the washer, I think that's probably the most dreaded. But I love how it looks when it's done, right? So most dreaded household chores, number 2, probably be washing dishes, right? I move, so I like to get them out the way, and I use a lot of disposable stuff right now because I don't have to worry about, a whole bunch of people in the house. But washing dishes, like when you have a sink full after the holidays, I know y'all got those big group events coming up, so yeah, that part's not fun. Question number 3. What forms of exercise are most enjoyable? At 43, I think stretching. It used to be every Monday you see me in there doing chest exercises, trying to get puffed up. Arms, I used to love doing arms. They used to be my favorite exercise, right? But now stretching, it's oddly relaxing, right, for me. I really want to get into yoga this upcoming year more. I have some friends that teach it. But stretching has to be probably my favorite form of exercise right now. I start off with some light stretches and end my workout with some stretching. When you feel those areas pop, 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 that just feels great. That release, man, I'm just excited about it. So, yeah, that's the 3 questions from thumball.com, trainerswarehouse.com. Thank you guys for, of course, taking care of us. And I can't wait to share this as well when we're teaching the Philippine Air Force PAF next month. So I'll be taking a couple of these bad boys with me. So thank you, trainerswarehouse.com. Moving on. If you didn't already know, one of the things I really want to do for you and for me next year in 2023 is really start focusing more on sharing some of the things I'm doing in my self-care journal. Every week, every chance that I get, I don't do it every day. I will not lie to you. This one's a blank one. I have a couple of copies, some I gave out, and one person that's at my home. But every week I try to do at least 2 to 3 things inside of my self-care journal, capture my journey. If you haven't seen it before, it's really cool. These things have little ideas at the top. Each book gives you something you can do with your day. And then you track down and you write down exactly what you did in your journal. So my self-care journal at home, I want to make sure you guys have an opportunity to get yourself one of these. So on my site this weekend, I'll be mentioning this, and I'll also have the link for you to go and order your own self-care journal. Last but not least, if you guys haven't, the book of the month, the book of January, is Happier No Matter What. Happier meaning, hey guys, guess what? There's some concepts in this book that are going to blow your mind. I've actually, for the last few years, as a master resiliency trainer for the United States Air Force, we covered down on some things already: mental, physical, social, spiritual. But this book, the way it breaks it down, the SPIRE model, it'll blow your mind. I can't wait to share these concepts. Thank you for the team over at the Happiness Institute for allowing us to share this information with Team Kadena in 2023. I can't wait to share the SPIRE model and what this book did for us, the 3 teammates that are going to be teaching it from the True North team in 2023. So we're looking at teaching our first class instead of January. We're going to move this to February of 2023. Happier no matter what. Give it a check out. This is our read for 2023, January. All right. So that was the part that I have to get out the way. Got to show love to the folks that show love to us here at Positive Vibes Radio Show, 78.6 FM Yomaton. And again, if you're just tuning in, forgive me. My voice, got the daycare cooties from one of my teammates, came in. My favorite line, and I got to say this because I know you've all heard it. My favorite line from a coworker is, "I'm not sick, it's just allergies." Are you kidding me right now? Hold up. I got to record this for him because I'm going to tell him, hey, man, I talked about you on the radio. So let me tell you something, man. So I walk in on Monday, and this dude, I can't make this up, right? So this guy, he's sitting there, and he's like hacking, and you hear the people, all the noises that you hear. You can probably picture him clearing out his ears, right? His voice sounds just like mine does right now. So I'm like, "Hey, Joe." I said, "Hey, bro, you sick?" I ain't going to say his last name, right? I said, "Hey, bro, you sick?" No, man, it's just allergies. That's the line. If you hear that line from a coworker, immediately run, grab your mask, and protect yourself. Because 3 days later, I'm waking up, and now I sound exactly how he did that Monday morning when he came into work. Hey, Joe, shout out to you. This is you. I'm coming for you on Monday. I don't know what I'm going to do to you, but hey, you got me sounding crazy on the radio. 78.6 FM Yomaton. Shout out to my coworkers. I love them. This is just love and teasing, of course. I wouldn't be anywhere or doing anything amazing right now if I didn't have the team that I have. So I'm really, truly grateful, even if you did give me the daycare cooties. 78.6 FM Yomaton, Positive Vibes with Winsome. I definitely want to share the message that we've shared with everyone that we care about this week, right? Reflect, reevaluate, refocus, and release. Reflect on your year. If you guys know my story, if you've been paying attention, or if you've been a consistent listener or watcher of Positive Vibes from social media to this forum here, then you know I started my year off as an intern, right? So I started the year off working with the American Forces Network by way of the Military Family Readiness Center, which I had a beautiful opportunity to do an externship for a little while so I can learn how to take care of people on the civilian side, how to take care of spouses, how to be a teammate in my civilian life, right? So I was prepared. I started the year off thinking that I wasn't going to be in the United States Air Force in this capacity anymore. And I was embracing it. When I look back, I was looking at messages and texts and stories. I was having a blast. Remember, you guys, I had the beard, the long beard. Don't let anybody tell you it wasn't glorious, because it was. I was out there just living the life and the purpose that I chose, that I wanted to, that I was excited about. And then this opportunity came, and when you really have to reflect on what's important to you, you know, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to let go, and what you want for your next chapter, I was really listening to what I could do with the team that I'd have in the time that I'd have left in uniform. And so when I reflect on the decision that had to be made and coming back and being content with the decision immediately, I'm so grateful. So me reflecting gave me an opportunity to be grateful about the decisions I made, the places I'm at, the people I've involved in my life, the things that I've done with my time, the things that I've done with my energy, where I've placed my energy, reflecting on the people that trusted me with their time, the people that believed in me, reflecting on the folks who didn't, and the folks who I had to prove wrong. Well, my focus and my whole priority was proving myself right. So the mindset that I had to get through, the things that challenged me, the obstacles, the processes, the things that I wasn't so great at, right? I reflect on all of these things and think about, hey, this is where I was. This is how I started. And look where you are. So I used to dread, okay, I don't want to lose out on these opportunities to travel and to teach and to share the good news, to speak life into people. I'm doing the same exact thing in a different capacity, in different locations, different opportunities. It's supposed to happen. I heard a phrase this week, or I'll say a quote this week that said, that step that you've been scared to take could be that one step that could change your entire life. And I know there's a lot of things that I was sitting on in January and scared to pull the trigger. And when I did, just the world opened up. Relationships grew that never existed before. Opportunities came. So when I reflect, and I'm asking you to do the same, reflect on, what did you do with your time? You had 1,440 minutes in a day. What did you do with it? How many excuses did you make? What relationships did you build? What impact did you leave on others? How much time did you put into yourself, to your growth, to your self-care, to that self-love? How much time did you put towards those people and things that mattered the most to you in your life? When you reflect on these things, how many things did you allow fear to keep you from doing? I asked you earlier, how many excuses did you make to not take that next step in your life, to do something that would probably change your entire life? How many opportunities did you let pass you by because you're like, I don't think that's for me? How many people could you have been there for, but you were too busy? How many conversations do you wish you would have had? When I ask you to reflect, don't focus on just all the great things you did. What about those things that you know you can do better? Right? We're going to talk about that more and reevaluate. But I want you to think about, what did you do with your 2022? And what are you going to do differently in 2023? 2022, you guys heard me tell Mr. G last week, 22 is my favorite number. Been like that since high school. And 2022 did not disappoint. It was an amazing year. It was an amazing, amazing year. And I'm still here in Okinawa, Yomatan, and I love it. And I would not change a thing. What would make this place perfect if I could do all of this with my little ones with me. We talk about the things we sacrifice, the times that we can't get back, right? That once a quarter trip, is that enough? So I ask you, have you looked at 2022 and actually said, what can I do better? 78.6 FM Positive Vibes of Winsome. We've been talking about going ahead and reflecting on 2022. When we get back, we're going to talk about reevaluating for 2023. What you going to change? Can't wait to talk to you. Reflect, refocus, and release. 78.6 FM Yomatan. .6 FM Yoma time. Positive vibes and winsome. I'm putting my mask back on. Getting ready for the second segment. Hey, we talked about reflecting. I want to talk to you now about reevaluating and refocusing on 2023. Yo, check this out. All the questions I asked you about when you reflected. What did you do with your time? Who did you impact? What was your goals for 2022? Right? So now you're reevaluating. Okay, so bam, what did I do with my 1,440 minutes in a day? Question, did I set boundaries? Did I put my foot down and say, you know what, I need to get to work at a certain time or leave at a certain time. I'm going to give them everything I got in between that window and I'm gone. Did you set healthy boundaries? You know what, I'm going to do something with my family every week. And on the weekend, I'm going to make sure I do A, B, and C. Did you set boundaries? Hey, I'm not going to keep saying yes to these things. I got to learn to say that word, which is no. Did you set boundaries? Reevaluate. If you didn't set boundaries, cool. How do you set these said boundaries in 2023? How do you do these things for yourself that are going to allow you to be happy with the energy you spent each week? They're going to allow you to be content with where you are each week, each day, each evening you lay your head on that pillow. Reevaluate. So check this out. Now you know, okay, maybe I need to set healthier boundaries. What goals did you have for 2022? Question, what kept you from them? Why didn't you achieve those set goals? Was it you? Did you get in your own way? Was it distractions? If it was distractions, did you identify them so you know exactly what's distracting you in your life so you can take those things out of your life? Get those people, places, and things out of the way so that you don't have these same distractions going into the new year. What goals did you set? Was it education? Was it travel? Was it family time? Was it self-growth, self-care, fitness? What goals did you have? Did you set reasonable goals? Reevaluate in 2022. Did you set goals that made sense, or was it just something that was completely out there with absolutely no kind of action plan? You see me throwing these words at you, right? Boundaries, goals, action plan. Did you have a plan that actually said, hey, this is how I'm going to get here from day 1 to whatever day you gave yourself, day 30? Did you have a realistic action plan? When you built this plan or this said plan, did you give yourself space? And did you set boundaries within this plan? Did you give yourself limitations, deadlines? Did you put things within this plan that made it work for you? Or were you creating a plan to work for everybody else but you? Because that's something else that people run into all the time. We do it all the time. We create a plan that works for everybody around us, but it really doesn't make sense for us. Create a plan. Reevaluate and refocus. Maybe I didn't hit my goal. I didn't hit goals that I established in 2022, and this is the reason why. But now I'm going to make a plan that makes sense for me in 2023. I'm going to make a workout plan that actually makes sense, not something I just found on Muscle and Fitness. I'm just naming random magazines. Please don't get offended. I'm going to go and find something that actually makes sense to me, not seeing the Rocks work out. I want to make a workout that's going to work for Winston. I'm asking you, does it make sense? You talk about diets. Diets, realistically, fads don't last if you don't have a plan to make sure you stick to it. I guarantee you, if you talk to somebody who is so disciplined when they're getting ready for a competition, you figure out what kind of mindset they force themselves to be in when they're preparing for that competition, that mentality that they have to set so that they don't see food as flavor anymore. They see food as fuel. And they only eat what they need to achieve the goals that they want. Listen to me. I'm saying this. I got a PT test coming up in February. Me and my brother at work. We got to get ready, right? So what are we doing right now mentally and physically to prepare for that? We got to flip the switch. And when we get back to work on Monday, there's no excuses. We have 4 days to kind of get our minds wrapped around how we're going to treat January and early February different. What are you doing with your goals? You see, the thing about action plans, if we don't build in possible limiting factors, possible issues, depending on your job, your family situation, your circumstances, things that might get in the way. But how do you overcome those hurdles? How do you overcome those barriers to still reach that goal that you set or those goals that you set? I'm going to tell you something that's beautiful about having goals. If you refocus and reevaluate 2022 and how you enter into 2023 with a real action plan. I could have did this next week. I could have talked about setting goals and New Year's resolutions, but I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in plans. What did you do to make these things a reality? So when you go back and you write it out and you see, okay, hey, I'm going to start here and this is where I need to be. This is exactly each and every step I need to take on a daily or weekly basis to get there. And the coolest thing, if you got that plan and you got a journal that tells you how you started, you can identify how you finish. Just like we talk about failing forward, you can see where you stumbled. You can see at what phase you stumbled. You can see what was going on in your life. You can identify like a movie. That's reevaluating. That's refocusing to get ready for what's next. I see a lot of people, we jump into these things aimlessly. And forgive me for shifting my mask. I'm just trying to make sure it's on here and covered. But we shift aimlessly into these goals. You say, I want to get in shape, but you don't have a plan to do it. You say you want to eat right, but you don't have a plan to do it. You say you want to travel, but you don't have a plan to do it. I always talk about these things. What are you doing to make sure that these things happen? How are you putting these things in place so that you can make sure your vision becomes a reality? And don't take it from me. The most successful people always have action plans, goals, dreams. They don't allow distractions to interrupt them or keep them away from them. They fight every single day. They relook at that plan to see if they're meeting the mark or not. A lot of people keep it up on the board so they can see it. Am I where I'm supposed to be today? Am I where I'm supposed to be this week? I'm about to change mine because you know what? Sometimes I share visions on my board and then the wrong people walk in and they always want to say something to plant little seeds. So I'm about to clear my board and just put up there what I need to have for others, right? To inspire, encourage, motivate. But I'm keeping my own little book for me. Because I realize it's not even their fault. Sometimes people have this default trigger inside of them because they haven't reached their goals. They haven't achieved their dream. They can't get to their vision. So when they see somebody else fighting for theirs, they want to pick it apart. I don't even get mad at them anymore. It becomes the expectation. I expect it when I see people kind of dissecting the board now. So I'm going to ask you this. What is your goal? 2023? Who did you impact in 2022, and why didn't you have a bigger impact on people, on those that mattered to you? What was the message you left from 2022? What is your legacy for 2022? I ask you all these questions because if you're not re-evaluating and refocusing your energy on what you want to do with 2023 right now, you're going to jump into that new year and expect everything to fall in place. And you could have took this time to kind of put some foundations together, right? Some building blocks, put some things in place. So when you walk into that new year, you're walking in on something that's actually set, some foundation, something that's there already, because you planned it, you created it, you set those actions in motion. I can't make that up, and I can't do it for you, but I can help you. If you question yourself, or if you need help, I'm a text or a call away. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. If you're just tuning in, forgive my voice. I mentioned it a couple of times. You know, I think I caught something from the daycare cooties this week. So I'm kind of working through it, wearing a mask to try to protect my teammates here. My voice is gone. The night times are miserable. Let me tell you, whatever this hit me in the chest, the night times are miserable. The daytime, I don't know what it is about these little bugs, right? The daytime, you're fine. You got energy, you're good. But as soon as you hit that pillow, man, you cannot get comfortable to save your life. Even the best tea is not helping, right? Hey, 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. We're talking about reflect, refocus, and release. Refocus. Come on, shake it off. Maybe 2022 wasn't your best year. Shake it off. That's all right. 2023 is going to be better. You have to believe that. You have to make sure in your mind and in your heart you truly believe this next couple of weeks I'm going to make sure I set the foundations in play to where 2023 is going to be better than 2022. I'm going to actually create an action plan that's going to get me where I really want to be. I'm going to start off in a great pace, and I'm going to keep that pace going. I'm going to have these, what do you call it? Their buddies, the battle buddies or the accountability partners to make sure I share this vision with. Hey, this is where I'm trying to go. Hold me accountable. I love my team. Let me tell you something. I love my team for that reason. We can walk in each other's room and say, hey, I'm trying to do this. Hold me accountable. And we do. I'm trying to go to the gym. Get me out of here. We got code words and code phrases that we use to make sure the other person's doing and taking care of themselves when we see they might be slipping because they're taking care of everybody else. You pour and pour into others every single day, but don't forget to pour into you in 2023. Reflect, refocus, reevaluate where you were, and refocus where you're trying to be in 2023. I'm so proud of you for those who survived it. I know it wasn't easy for everybody. I know it wasn't all butterflies and cakes, right? For some people, it was some struggles. It was some challenges. It was some sadness. We lost some really amazing people this past year. I did personally. You remember we started the year off like that. But what did we do? We kept going. We kept living for them. And we made every day count for them. 78.6 FM Yomaton, Positive Vibes with Winsome. We'll be back right after this break, and we're going to talk about release. Let it go. And I'm going to explain how to do that right after this break. We'll see you in a second. 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome, and we're back. I was over here giving my teammate a hard time, sending him a little skit. We talking about him clearing out his ears and the voice sounding all funny. Start off the week and now I sound just like that. Hey man, it's not a coincidence. 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Reflect, refocus, and release. So we talked about reflecting on the things you did well. Reflecting on the things you struggled with this year. Reflecting on the people that you impacted this year. Reflecting on the things that you did in your career that you're proud of. Reflecting on the time you spent with family and friends. Reflecting on the different beautiful places that you got a chance to go. Things you got to see. Stories you got to tell. Things you wrote down and pictures you took. Reflecting on those opportunities and doors that opened up for you. But also reflecting on the things that didn't go well. All the places that you didn't go. All the people that you missed opportunities to connect with. All the impacts you didn't have. All the things you didn't do, the goals you didn't stick to. All of these things are part of reflecting. That's why people don't want to do it. They don't want to reconnect with those things that weren't great and postable. Listen to me. They don't want to talk about those things they can't share on the gram, right? They only want to talk about their victories. But this is why it's important to go back and do that. You want to talk about your wins and your losses. You want to evaluate your wins and your losses so you understand, hey, these are opportunities for growth. Let me say it again. Focusing on your wins and your losses, your strengths and your weaknesses gives you an opportunity for growth to be better than yesterday. That's all we talk about every time you hear me, are these facets of life that are important for you to be the best version of you. That's what reflecting can do for you. Reflecting also gives you a chance to be self-aware, practice some mindfulness. And when I say self-aware, I'm talking about, hey, this is who I am right now. Not who I pose to be online. Not who I say I am. But reflecting will allow you to really take a look at who you truly are right now. You can practice getting in contact and connect. I said contact, getting in connection with who you are spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, with your family. Think about these things that are important to you in your life right now. I had a young man come in the other day and he was telling me, I can't make this up. The young man spent 10 minutes telling me about how much he cared about people. I asked him one question about his job decision and it had nothing to do with people. One question. And I was like, bro, you say all this, but you're saying you want to take this direction but you care about people, but the direction you're trying to take has absolutely nothing to do with people. It has to do all about money. Doesn't align. How happy will you be when you get that situation happening and it doesn't align with what you say is what you care about? So I said, you got two choices for me. Understand, is it truly money you care about or is it truly people? Because it sounds good what you say, but it doesn't align with what you tell me you're trying to do. Sounds good. Let me tell you something. Reflect on those people that say, excuse me, reflecting on people that say that they care. Do their actions line up with their words? Think about that real quick. How many people told you they care about you? They've been saying, I love you, I care about you. Do their actions align with their words? Have your actions align with those words? The people that you care and love about, right? I need you to reflect on all these things so you can get an idea of who you are. I need you to be self-aware of who you were in 2022. So if you don't want to be that same person in 2023, secret, you don't have to. You can be whoever you set your mind and heart to. If you don't want to be that girl or guy, then don't be that girl or guy. Make the changes, put in the work, make the effort, and change. I had somebody tell me when we were sitting down the other day, but I was always told that an adult is set in their ways. You can't change someone. You're absolutely right. But if an adult is doing the work to make those changes, they're not bound to be the same person that they were the day before. They're not bound to be the same person that they were in the previous conversation, even if it was that morning. Anyone can be whoever they choose to be. So if you look at yourself and you're evaluating and you're reflecting, and then you reevaluate everything you did, said, and your actions didn't align with your words, make it happen in 2023. I had a whole motivational speaker, will not say names, had a whole motivational speaker tell me how much he loved people, how much he adored the military and what we do and our mission, and how much he would love to support, but he would have charged about $20,000 just to step foot. That's not including the amenities. That's not including the housing, state, or food. And that's somebody who tells you they care about people, but what does it say? What is the actual message you get when somebody tells you, I'll do it, but they add a price tag to it? It doesn't even have to be just money. There's a price tag to it. I told this person, kindly, no thank you. Kindly, no thank you. I don't care what kind of notoriety comes with you. If when I ask the person who says they love people to take that opportunity, okay, cool, I'm going to give you a wonderful opportunity to affect 7,000 plus. But you say, oh, in order for me to speak life into people, you got to pay me $20,000. I'm good. I'll decline. And then in the same week, I found someone that said, hey, dude, I would jump on Zoom right now for free. You tell me where and you tell me when. That person's heart aligned with their words. And guess what? The crazy part is they do about the same capacity of work out there in the community. I'm learning a lot. This is part of my reflection, things that I saw out there, things that I would change. Remember, I'm the kid that started off 2022 as the intern. I want to say thank you to all the people that took a chance on me this year. Just me. And next week, I'll probably have a little list to say thank you officially. I want to say thank you to people who presented opportunities for me this year, trusted me with products this year, right? Trusted me to go travel and use their product, say their product out loud and speak on it this year. That trusted my voice to be the voice of their company. I love the opportunities, and I appreciate the trust, and I appreciate the communications, the Zoom meetings, and the encouragement, the kindness that has been showed. I'll tell you, this year has been an amazing year for me. What kind of year has it been for you? And if it wasn't so great, don't listen to my words as discouraging. Because last year or the year before may not have equated to what I went through this year. Steps that I took the year before, even the year before that, actually led up to what I was able to enjoy and appreciate this year. Don't make it seem like, or don't ever take it like I just came out of nowhere, or these things came out of nowhere and it just magically happened, doors open. No, it's work that you put in behind the scenes that actually are able to be fruitful later. So when I ask you what kind of work you putting into your 2023, what are you doing so that the things that you see in your life are fruitful? Because I'll never brag and lie to you and act like it just magically happened. Or that looks made it happen. Definitely ain't. That ain't me. Or that personality made it happen. That's just a small 3% of everything you do is what you bring and who you are. But the rest is work. Consistency. Time. What you value. And when I say that, I'm going to tell you, maybe 2022 didn't work out for you. Maybe it wasn't a great year for you. That's okay. Let it go. And I'm going to say that again. If 2022 was not the year for you, that is okay. Let it go. You're about to start a whole new chapter. Chapter 23. As my sister would say, Steph, you're about to start chapter 23. What words are you about to write in there? How are you going to fill up those pages? What story are you about to tell? All the questions I asked you before, if you reflected and refocused, then you're going to have an idea of what you want your book to look like. And let me tell you something, if you start a new chapter in your old book, that's great. But if you're starting a brand new book, that's beautiful too. I'm shutting the book. I'm closing. I'm pushing end on this, Winsome. And I'm about to start 2023. It's going to be a whole new year. A whole new me. Not a new chapter, but a new story. I love it. Go get it. And don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody stop you because they can't keep up. Don't let anybody stop you because they're jealous. Don't let anybody stop you because they're envious. Don't let anybody stop you because they're naysayers. Don't let anybody stop you because they doubt you. All of these things have absolutely nothing to do with the energy and the effort that you put in to you and the things that matter to you. Friends, family, work, goals, dreams, visions, purpose, legacy, connections, commitment. What are you putting in to 2023? I'm so excited, man. Everybody who came with me for Positive Vibes journey so far, so many great things coming next year. I'll tell you some more next week as we close out talking about self-care. I made it a huge point to talk about self-care this year. Emotional intelligence this year, mindset this year. We talked about boundaries not too long ago with Mr. G. We had 3 different opportunities to speak about boundaries. I talked about boundaries in this show. I brought my big brother back to talk about it on this show. And then we went to the American Forces Network and we talked about boundaries right there. So we made it a huge point to make that emphasis on how important boundaries are. Just for life. Just for peace of mind. And so we're going to talk about self-care one more time. Because I want you to understand that self-care is not about getting your nails done. That's just a piece of it. It's not about getting your hair done. That's maintenance. It's not about going to the gym. That's just a piece of it. Everything that encompasses self-care and why self-care is so important is what I want to talk about next week. So I'm going to have you here. If you tune in. Another thing we want to really do this weekend is focus on getting all of this stuff to a point and to a landing point for you. We had a conversation that happened a few months ago, with our chiefs here in the base. 5 really great leaders on our base shared some really cool stories. So this weekend I'm dedicating to making sure that is shared with everyone. So when they come back, they can see something really cool for the holiday season. And I'll share that with you if you're following on social media or if you're at PositiveVibesRadioShow.com. A cool new teammate, a cool new partner for Positive Vibes Radio Show is Remo. Had a great opportunity to really enjoy and test out their products this past weekend. If you haven't tried out Remo, there's different locations for them. And those are really a great time, man. And I say that just to tell you I'm not trying to sell you a product. I'll tell you about my experiences, which is more important than trying to sell you something, right? There's a lot of people that tell you like they get paid to go on and talk about things that they do. And for me, I'm not trying to get paid for any of this. I really just want to enjoy life. And to be able to be a part of the Remo story in 2023 is really exciting. Remo has, the kick bikes, the scooters. We got to test out a bunch of their equipment last weekend, from the single wheel to the ATV to the big bikes. It was a really good time, really exciting. Different locations, Yomatan, Naha, Ona, and now they're over also in Iijima, which is what I plan to go tomorrow and check out the kick bikes there and go around Iijima Island for the holiday, right? That's really what I want to do on my Christmas, just to get a little different experience of that island and see something beautiful as long as the weather holds up. So thank you, Remo, for trusting us. It's Positive Vibes Radio Show and Remo with your products. And I can't wait to do more with you in 2023. 78.6 FM Yomatan. Positive Vibes at Winsome. You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. See you next week.